Hey y'all, it's Look Within. What's up, Look?
What up, bro?
How's it going, man? Yeah,
Oh, it's cold.
it's
It's
cold.
cold,
Yeah,
and I just
yeah.
got done with a 12-hour workday.
Damn, it's so cold. I hear some crazy feedback coming from your. Is that the
What's up?
what is that? A train or something?
Of course, I'm driving through the rural areas of Mississippi, so probably boring the fuck out.
Okay, that's gonna be it. Well, it's good to have you, man. I was gonna play some music. Well, I still will, but it's good to have you on the ride, bro. This is a first, bro. You might have to change everything up right now, bro. Look Within in the house, just to make sure everyone knows it's the real Look Within, the hardest working man in the metaverse. Let me bring him up. Boom. Look at it's Look. It's Look, and we got the eye. That's for you, dog. That's why I got that. I was going to
Oh,
tell you later.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man. How's it going?
Oh man.
You working hard, huh?
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's
That
too cold to be doing this fiber optic shit.
it is. It is. Yeah. But you're making
Shit
good
just
money, right?
breaks.
Taking care of the fam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, you got that feedback is crazy. So, um, yeah, let's uh,
That's my.
let's
Is it?
watch
You
this
hear the
video.
whistling?
Yeah, it's like woo.
That's my ladder. I got a ladder on the top of the truck, and it's
Oh,
whistling.
that's what that is. Okay,
Yeah,
so we can
I
we,
don't
we
have
can
it
fuck
filled
with that.
in.
We can
I'll
fuck with
mute.
that.
I'll mute.
No, no, but yeah, but I'm gonna get you back on. We're gonna watch this little montage to my soil Cali. All right.
All right, bro. All right.
Much love, brother.
Much
Day
love,
one
bro.
shooter right there, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, stabbing your ear. That's the hardest worker in the metaverse right there. His equipment is even singing. So let me drop this right here. Bring it back to the soil. NPC the game radio for the moment. Alexander Carbro, that's me. Coming at you live on this island of Taiwan, Formosa. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let me show you how we get down Cali. Are you ready?
Ready.
That's,
I mean,
here we
I
go.
know already, but I'm ready.
He's ready. So let's go. NBC The Game Live Radio. Here you go. Yeah, some of y'all in the panelers need to stay off that meth, man. Get it together. Ain't still Radio NPC the game. I probably shouldn't play this record right now, but fuck it. Radio NPC the game. The place in the original soundtrack for your life.
What's the thumbnail about? I'm over it.
I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Like I'm over that ladder for a second. Can you mute it for a sec? Can you push talk?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, good question. Let me see. Yeah, so yeah, when you come on, when you answer or whatever, or want to ask a question, yeah, please unmute. Yeah, so it's I'm over it. I'm over it. Look within. I'm over it, chat. I'm not over you. Yeah, man, last night, man, this morning, I wake up. There's an earthquake, right? A huge earthquake. I go to bed. I'm about to go to bed. Actually, I went on OTW's stream yesterday. I needed to go to bed. So I was like, how am I going to get off the stream? Because, like Jack Talcott said before, it's like, this is not an airport, so we don't necessarily have to announce our departure. But, it's nice to do that or whatever. Because I think that comes from you want to be acknowledged and shit and acknowledge the other person. But anyway, I was thinking, like, how am I going to leave? And I got a chance to leave. There was a 5.0 earthquake. I got to go, right? And in true Panelverse fashion, everyone online was like, okay, be safe. And they went to talking about whatever they're talking about. Little did they know my house could have been crumbling now. But it wasn't, thank God. So I'm over it. I'm over the night before last when there was 3 huge earthquakes and one was 6.5. So I'm over that, But what are you going to do, look within? What are we going to do? I live on the ring of fire. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Hell yeah. They put rebar in your foundation?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So the earthquake though, I believe everything's a reflection of the inner is a reflection of the outer and vice versa. So when we have earthquakes and big events like that, that's literally telling me, shaking me up, it's time to reset, like an extra sketch and all that. So this is what's happening right now. It's a new day. It's a new way of being. The moon is in Scorpio. Transformation, sex, intensity, talking shit, but also caring. People don't know this, and I'm not just saying it because I'm Scorpio. I have Scorpio energy a lot, but Scorpios are very caring. Yeah. They get the rap like they're assholes and hardcore, which they can be, which we are a lot of times, but I think it's coming from a place of caring for the ones that are grounded, like Bex and me and whoever else out there has that energy. But yeah, I'm over it. I'm over yesterday when I had the Supreme Creator Series broadcast, which was fire, but it got a little heated, spicy for a minute there. Not only with the guests, but with me and Supreme. That was wild. But here's the thing. Egos clash. Communication gets lost in translation. The nuances get mixed, and things can escalate from a 0 to 100 in a minute. But shout out to Ezra. I talked to her in the DM. I see what you're trying to do, trying to smooth over the situation in the chat. But the chat's the chat, and y'all gonna do what you're gonna do. Hopefully you'll be listening to what we're saying. But if not, I mean, honestly, as long as you're not disturbing, like I tell my students, as long as you're not disturbing each other and you're speaking in English, you can have your little side conversations or whatnot. Because I get it. A lot of us are working our ass off. Like, look within, the hardest working man in the metaverse, Jeremy, Crazy Mama, everybody, Leopard, Shadow, Shift. Everyone's like working hard, out here. And this is a place where we come to commune. It's like your bar. You don't even have to drink, So what goes on the chat is the chat. So if there's shit going on out there, don't feel the need necessarily to come up and explain yourself, because sometimes that makes it worse, especially when the host is feeling himself and not really paying attention to what's going on. So I appreciate your patience, Ezra and Supreme. Yeah. because he was teaching me shit. He was like, remember where you come from. You know, high caliber, high powered broadcast. We call it a show. Yeah, it is a show. Entertainment, entertaining your energy. However, it is a class. It's a class of life. How to get better. How to utilize critical thinking, and how to be a lovable human too. But sometimes we got to be serious, right? And I'm gonna be sticking to that part. Because when you're serious, you realize the cosmic giggle, which everything is funny. But first, I'm going to start with the foundation of being locked in and trying to get shit done. So that's what I'm over, which I'm not really over. Look within, because it's always the same. It's like the same day happening over and over again, right? But it's different. You feel me? You feel me? Yeah. You hear me? Let me see. What's really going on? Shout out to Shadow Buddha the Twin. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
All right. I'm glad to hear it, man, because I can feel your chaos energy, and I know what's going on, man. It's you're setting too high expectations on yourself.
Yeah.
And you're doing great, man. You're doing great. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about what they're saying about you. Fuck all that shit. Everybody's always going to have an opinion about everybody, and their opinions really are irrelevant as long as they're not affecting your reality in any way. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I'm here, not for entertainment as much, but to support the people who I'll use some woo-woo words. I resonate with you. You know what I mean? And whoever I do, that's why I just come by. I shoot a like, I do my little emojis, and then I got to go off to work a lot of the time. So I'll be listening here and there, or when I'm home, I listen to you, man. But that's why I was kind of wondering. I saw you in the chat earlier. You said I was based. Is that good or bad?
Bass is great. It's that millennial. Now I'm X generation X. That means like bass. Like it comes from Little B from Oakland. Bass, like bass rock cocaine. So he was the bass god rapper, the bass guy, which is like the ultimate, you know, in Oakland, because we got no money really, you know. So the bass rock changed people's life, able to eat and floss and whatnot. So now the youngsters that are removed from that shit, they say they've been saying bass for a minute. So your bass, that's like the ultimate. That's like we used to say hella cool. You're hella down, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still say that.
Yeah, I still say it too. Yeah, but bass, I had to say something different to mean it, because I mean it. You're a day one shooter in this digital YouTube streets. For me, and I don't mean it like I'm claiming you or anything, because I see you help everyone. You're almost like that. You're almost like Omar on The Wire, except I think you like women. But even if you don't, you're like Omar from The Wire, just doing your thing, and you're a badass motherfucker. However, you have a code, and I can see how you handled yourself, bro. You're able to go on all these spots and maneuver and still have integrity, and your name still like rings out. And I'm always going to acknowledge you, because you've been there when it's just been me and you for hours, or even if you pop in and out, bro, and it means the world to see your avatars. And even when you call me Gabriel or Gabe, bro, that's like the bro. I can glaze for Look Within, so fuck it. Like you said, who cares what anybody thinks, right?
Exactly. No, I appreciate it, man. And I went off. I had to learn to step back myself, man. That's the only reason I can kind of maneuver like that for a minute there. I didn't even chat. I didn't even say anything. I just watched and listened to people and figured out kind of the energy that was going on with them. But no, you're right, man. You're figuring it out. It's all. I like that you're raw. I like that you're raw with it, and not everything is all pre-rehearsed and whatnot. You know, because that's what a lot of people expect out here. But that's fake. You want fake or you want real? That's kind of the question.
Yeah. It's all. I appreciate those words. This because it's almost, for me, it's like too much, man. Like we're talking to Mel about acting and stuff like that. I'm sure if we set my mind to it, I probably can be pretty good at it. because I do like the spotlight. This is what I'm going to talk about. Mars and Leo. Mars and Leo. Mars is vitality, what you get your energy, your power from, and Leo is self-expression, the rock star, right? The sun. So I get energy, and I'm able to be generous through self-expression, and this is one of the best ways I like to express myself. I used to like to be in the shadows too a lot, per se, and just making videos offline, and I still do. But this is like a whole new level because you get to interact with your people, you know. So yeah, we're this technology that we use. People talk shit about it, and I can understand. We know everything about Coach K through the great teacher, one of the great teachers, Machine Lies, Mr. K. You know about technology and how it's transforming people. A lot of times not good, but it also come from the school, literally a school, my university, where they taught some of the best psychologists that are out there right now about how you can use art as a modality to help people transform through their um, ups and downs in life, you know? So this is our art right here, streaming, you know?
Yeah, man, you've been very consistent. I'm I don't want to say proud. I look up to you. I look up to you for your consistency for sure, man. It's a hard thing to do. It definitely is to stay on it like you are, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear. I know that earthquake did good for you because I can hear it in your voice, man. You're a lot looser. This shit puts you in perspective.
Yeah,
I
it
like that.
sure did, man. It sure
It's
did.
good. It will,
Yeah.
man. Too. I was out in California in 2019. I think there was a 7.2.
Hmm.
Man, that shit makes you feel
Damn.
small. Makes you feel real small.
Yes,
And
it
I was only
does.
there
Yes,
for a
sir.
week. I was only there for 1 week and a half, and while I was there, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Uh, right. You brought it. I like to say like we bring these things on. You bring. I'm sure we're not the only one, but for those that are listening, Earth, Gaia, through the most high is working through her. You know, make shit easy. Anthropomorphize everything. That's his wife. That's our mother. You know, so it's she's telling us like, wake up, motherfucker. And you know what I've done with love songs? Look Within over the years. Um, I literally there was a time where this is probably because I was smoking massive amounts of weed, right? So my mind was my mind, right? And I used to smoke or and listen to R&B females sing, women sing like Mary J. Blige. I'm the only one for you. You know that like all that and Sade, you know, nothing can come between us. And I used to think that what if that is to these singers, these goddesses, uh that's Gaia, Mother Earth singing to us to like pay attention to us and pay attention to her and care for her more, you know, because most of those songs are about, or at least the women I like to listen to, they're talking about getting dogged out by their man, right? And and the sadness, it makes me feel alive in a weird way. Don't get me wrong, I don't like to be sad all the time, but it reminds me of what I have and what I could have had, and how to be in the moment here right now. So anyway, like I would listen to these songs and just feel the songs, man. Because I'm not a woman, so I don't know what it means to lose your man or whatever like that. But I definitely can resonate with the earth energy, you know, and whatnot. So I used to get a lot out of those songs, you know. So just a thought that came up right now since we're talking about these things. So what's going up, everybody in the house? Mike Ball in the house. Yeah. Mike. I have a feeling that Uncle Fatty's real name is Mike. Michael, Archangel Michael, and Gabriel are homies. Uncle Fatty was a comment. Right now we're at the apex of the parade of planets. Yeah, they're like lined up. Up 2, 3, 4. That's what my mom used to do to get me go to bed at night. She used to Had me line up and like march to the bed. Hup, 2, 3, 4. Dee, 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 dee. All the planets are lined up right now. This is why it feels so damn dynamic right now and dramatic. Has to be. And even if it isn't, even if it's just a pseudoscience with no evidence from the mainstream scientific community, uh, it's definitely astrology definitely has a cultural and spiritual impact to people here and now and all other cultures in the past. Uh, so all 7 planets in a line across the evening sky, pretty strong energy, all pulling that way, pulling you right. Scorpio is leading the way right now. The moon is in Scorpio, my friends. Harness your inner strength. Cultivate that resilience in this face of uncertainty that we're talking about. I have this time to take tangible steps towards my ambitions because Scorpio definitely makes you attune with your ambitious nature, you know, wanting it to get things done. This is what that Mars I'm talking about. I guess this is like a big time astrology podcast live stream. Those I was gonna say those fools, those lovely people over there at the Tuesday Thursday show over there, Avoided Hornet. They kept saying, they kept fixing, is he an astrology podcast? I can't put my finger on NPC the game. What's going on over there with those people? It's astrology. He mentioned Mercury in retrograde. Like, and he mentioned the black pill and the red pill. That doesn't compute. How could a person be a student of the male-female sexual dynamics, the manosphere, and also enjoy using astrology as a tool? My brain can't compute. What should I do? I'm gonna explode. Right? Yeah, I like astrology. It's a good way for me anyway, to communicate with people, understand them, and have patience, right? So yeah, this you guys motivated me actually. This is astrology. Your little backhand compliment or whatever actually motivated me. Cause that Mars in Leo, I'm telling you, man, it's my favorite part of my chart. And if you want, y'all can come up for a minute and we can read your chart too a little bit. We can do that.
Is that what's been happening? Is that people been hating on you now that they notice you about your award show thing, or what?
Yeah, I mean,
They're intimidated.
That's what it's happened. That's what it looks like it's been happening. Don't get me wrong. I've kind of put my foot in my mouth maybe once or twice too, in my reaction to their comments and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like a lot of hate, misplaced hate. You know, which actually, because I've been unbalanced, look within and uptight, like you said, up until recently after the earthquakes, like I give that energy back too, unbalanced, like really rigid energy. Like when they critique in a mean way, like the one person I went off on, they literally said on the flow state stream that Neve, that my feelings don't matter. Like when people were saying like, bro, he got kind of like fucked over with that skit on Mel's and whatnot. You know, that was his time to shine a little bit, get his questions off in the internet. And they were like, people were like, yeah, man, that kind of sucks. And that Neve was like, fuck his feelings. It don't matter. You know, he ain't, and I get it. Right. I'm a person who can hold two things at once. I realize I'm a nobody in somebody's world or consciousness, right? This person I think is Gabriel. I don't know what that is. It might as well be an action figure, but that's one thought I can hold. But another thought I hold too is the fact that I am a person, and that who has feelings and whatnot, and even though I'm a man. Like men have feelings too, and why can't you be strong and stand on your square, but also acknowledge your feelings? And when someone tries to discount them and not acknowledge them, especially when you're being raw, like you said, I was being raw and open and vulnerable on my interview, and then after the fact, defending the weak, like the motherfucker doesn't acknowledge it and shits on it, I was angry. And I was probably what it was. I was angry about what happened to me with Mel. I was angry about what that person said. I was angry about the fact that I worked my ass off like yourself, yet I don't really have time to pursue my hobbies or spend as much time with my family and friends. I'm mad about people calling me the N word, hard R. There's a lot of things I'm mad at and over that came to the head the other day when I went off on that person. Yeah. Normally people don't see me like that, but I did it. And that is a part of me, you know. However, I'm about love, but there is war there too, you know. So this is what it is. That's what the deal. And all this shit is reminding me of the fact that we are connected on a real level. And everyone has their opinion. The great Leopard Prince said it. I might not agree with what you say, Gabriel, but however, I respect the fact that that's your opinion, you know? And I think that little statement right there is like a superpower. When you take that to heart, you can maneuver anywhere, you know?
Yeah. I'm bad at that too, man. I'm bad at wrath is one of my sins for sure. And I noticed though, you always got to remember the end result. The only way I've been able to control it is I've done it. I've hurt people to the point where, and you got to remember you're tougher than most of them. Because if you can do that too, where you hurt them and you see something in them change and them kind of question themselves, it doesn't make me feel good, man. It doesn't make me feel good to hurt other people. I get it though. You had higher expectations for those people, but I told you a minute ago, they see you. You know what I mean? Regardless of if they're acknowledging it or not, they do see you. And this wasn't anything new. This is just what it's come to. You're always in control, man. You know that. If you control yourself and you put out what you want to see, you might not see it reflected back right at you right away. But like you said, you can reflect back at them too. And I am a believer in giving people a little taste of their medicine, but yeah, just never give up your integrity because other people want to be ugly.
Yeah, you're right. It's not an excuse. And yeah, I do. And I've said this this last week. I really don't like people. Oh God, I'm such a Zen dichotomy. I went and I do truly believe you in as a core. I don't like hurting people because it hurts my feelings, even though it does make me feel good a little bit to see that they actually feel something when they're not trying to feel something. It seems like they're trying to hold it in to try to spite you because they know that reaction, you don't want the reaction. But when you get it, because it hurt them so bad, part of me is like, yeah, baby, you know, but that's some petty shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we call the cancer verse. The bigger shit, yeah. That's what we call the cancer verse, where on an unbalanced cancer energy, the crab is when they feel bad, they want everyone to feel their pain. And if you don't feel it or acknowledge it, they'll do stuff to make sure you feel it. And they almost become like a void, a black hole that sucks everything in there. On the contrary, on the positive end, the cancer verse, if they're feeling love and bliss, they'll make everyone feel like that, and they'll feel like you're in a damn nirvana, you know, here and now. So, what's up, Shift? What's up, Shift? How's it going, bro?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Just chilling, bro. Just
Usually
chilling.
with Look Within. This is a Look Within show today. I'm irritated because Look Within won't come up more. That's what I'm irritated about.
Some great
Sorry,
stuff.
bro.
It's
Some
okay.
great stuff.
It's not that I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just being greedy. I'm just being greedy. Look Within.
There's some good stuff even in the chat. Himsa said that I think Mars is in Cancer right now. You're talking to one.
Shit.
I got Mars in Cancer and Moon in Scorpio.
Right.
So
damn. So does the great Rebecca has as the Mars in Cancer as well, and Miss NPC. Yeah. Go ahead.
So,
love you, Rebecca.
So when I explode, it's not a pretty look. It's devastation. But I
Total
certainly
devastation, huh?
I certainly don't like doing that, and I learned over the years just to let it go. It's difficult though because you get caught up in rage and you want to break things, but then as you get older, you realize, you know what? You're wasting a lot of energy because anger, rage is energy wasted on a
Yeah.
person where, all right, you didn't get along, your ideals or your whatever you said didn't get along well. Um, it happens, and adults they just move it forward. And I understand also when people don't appreciate your work, especially the work that you're doing, and then they make offhanded comments like what Neve kind of said. It does hurt. I understand that sentiment, but at the same time, it's kind of like they talk about you, and the haters are your biggest fans. That's the kind of the games you got to play, like Michael Jordan, right? Plays
Yeah.
games
I
in
was
his
just about
head.
to say, yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
definitely are intimidated by you if they're bringing you up.
Right.
Take
Yeah.
pride in that.
Exactly. Absolutely. Like Shift. He gave me some. There's like Steven, Queen Steven, the as Provo labeled him as the semen demon, sanity machine at the NBC Awards. It's a great monologue. Yeah, like you were saying that he reviewed my stream or tried to pick it apart, whatever he does.
yeah.
Basically, just play the whole thing, right?
Yeah, he reminds me of one called in the Manosphere, like where he used to do that type of shit also. But these type of people, at the end of the day, you call yourself a king, but you have nothing. You're not producing nothing. He's a
Yeah,
queen. Yeah, it's like and it shows. What a
yeah, it
disgusting
is.
human. Disgusting human. And to me, these type of people, I mean, it made me livid what he did. Like he just strips people's hard work and like puts it as his own. But at the end of the day, he's just a miserable person. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, there is a lot of miserable, but then, and if we talk about it, well, I brought him up for a second, so that's why we're talking about him. But I remember I said something in Provo's chat the other day about somebody trying to be like cute, trying to be funny, like and he's like, well, he's all I don't talk about people. I'm not doing that. I don't do that. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's actually pretty stand up integrity farms, right? You know to do
That's
that.
um that's like kind of going like higher level in a way.
Yeah.
But it's with in certain sectors, I understand that sentiment, I guess. It depends on what type of content the person is doing. And I think Provo just wants to create a vibe with his community that's more positive. But at the same time, there's going to be conflicts, panelverse. There's going to be conflicts. There's going to be egos clashing. I, I personally, I really don't go on any of the panels besides NPC the game because I kind of see like the power dynamics of how people play in other streams,
Yeah.
and I just don't really have the vested interest to really invest my time with the other people that
But
I don't
that's
really trust, you know.
that's not I don't trust some people too, a lot of people too, but and I appreciate you coming up here to make it even better. However, like I would suggest you go on other people's panels though too, because I don't want you don't want to be trapped in the damn echo chamber constantly. Like I went on OTW's channel the other night and then flow states again and like and I don't probably agree with everything they say or whatever, but to me, the way they interact with me and the way their panel's been interacting with me, they're respectful and stuff. So yeah, man, I would just like get out there sometimes. Get out there, take a walk in the panelverse, and stop and chat with somebody that you might find something new, bro. Because in the end, it's just a damn internet. It's not like somebody can hurt you. I guess they could, but that's a low. I think there's more risk. There's a lot of risk, but there's a greater reward. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah.
I get you.
Because,
I get you.
yeah, yeah.
It's just I guess it will just take time for me to understand the characters in a way. But usually my instincts are not. Right now, it's just like just chill out. I did watch a couple of streams and it's pretty entertaining. But at the end of the day, I don't want to end up as being someone's content. Definitely, that's my
You
biggest
are,
thing.
I guess, but
They're like they kind of use me as a weapon, which I don't appreciate at
I,
all. Yeah, so
yeah, I guess. But coming from a person that was like ultimately that was done to kind of in a way last week, and in the end, even with that male stuff, I don't fucking care. I can look at it; it was funny, it's good content. But like, but my favorite artist, visual artist, John Michel Basquiat. He's such my favorite artist that I always fuck up his name. But, but Jean Michel Basquiat, he says the more art I do about the world, the more love everything. And I can see that. The more you deal with this content and stuff, the more you expand your consciousness. And the more you get out there, the more you expand your
yeah,
consciousness. Yeah. Like this look within, the more we go within with our creativity, the more the our bigger our universe gets.
yeah.
Um yeah, so every oh yeah, I was gonna talk about the Leo. So Leo and Mars real quick. So having Leo and Mars, like I said, Mars is where you get your vitality and whatnot. Uh Leo, your self-expression. Having Leo and Mars would probably generally give someone a very good drive in life that's based in your heart, and ego matters, right? This is probably why someone like myself who has Leo and Mars, I have a lot of love to give, but then I can get slighted. I feel like I get slighted easily because that's that ego, right? Leo is
Hmm.
ego. No, it's the apex of the ego. Aries is the ego, but but Aries is at home in the with the Leo energy. It's exalted. It's exalted, right? So
Would you
there's
call it
usually
like the sun,
the
basically?
sun is exalted in the sun, right? Thank
Yeah.
you. Aries is exalted in the sun, which is Leo, the sign. So yeah, so that's why ego is intertwined with Leo, huh? And that's why some of us get very sensitive when our ego is pushed or prodded a little bit. And this Leo and Mars definitely makes me action oriented. This is probably why I look within. I'm consistent in the fact that I always want to make content. I want to express myself, and then the way it used to be when I was younger, I didn't consider myself an artist. My art was playing sports and being fit, physically fit, and that's definitely a Leo and Mars trait. And with that said, the underlying thing is I'm ambitious. I always wanted to win, win, win. Just win, baby. You know, who wouldn't want to win? Who
Hmm.
wants like to me like I love the panelverse and it's fun and all that, but we want more. We want more, more. We want that I show speed type of motion, right? Even if we don't get there, uh, I want us to expand the panelverse all the way to there. You know, I mean, because it's like we're like probes out here in the panelverse. The panelverse is limitless, and but it's not known until we get there and see these spaces, right? So the more we go out there and go check them out, the more ambitious we are with seeing what we can do and see and express, the more the panelverse actually manifests to us. And as long as nothing conflicts too hard with that, it's copacetic, and there's a lot of great art that's made. Um, I definitely do like with the Mars and Leo. I do like the spotlight. Um, it's almost like my energy demands the spotlight. I know that sounds conceited, but it
No,
definitely
it's
gives me energy. Gives me energy, man.
because it
Yeah.
feeds on it. Like when you make great content, it feeds on your
Uh,
energy. And the way
Uh-huh.
I view it is like if you're a creator, in my opinion, if you're not like looking back on your stream and just like, I find it like I want to make content where I can even look back and listen to what I say and see if I'm consistent with my words and my actions and see if I
Uh-huh.
changed or evolved. Um, Especially in the speech patterns and stuff, you can learn a lot actually, just by critiquing yourself. Because who could be your harshest critic? Yourself. That way, it kind of makes you like steel compared to when other people make comments. You kind of laugh at them because they're making comments of whether against you like out of fear or malice, but they don't really understand you, and that's why you could kind of laugh at them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we called it in the sweater, the Stormy Weather Existential Detective Agency. We called it self-stalking. We have these podcasts, the real Panelverse, before the Panelverse, in 2010. We would self-stalk ourselves, in our, not only in our, like you said, our recordings and our podcasts, and also our writings, our journal writings. And I think that term comes from Carlos Castaneda, the writings of the life of Don Juan, the shaman. And it's kind of like a warrior. A warrior is always stalking himself to make sure he's living, he or she is living impeccably upright. You know, it's like
Hmm.
every day's life or death, every second, right? Because death is right behind you, and at any moment it could tap you on the shoulder, and that's it. So you got to live life like it's your last battle. And I get it, that's pretty intense, but if you even do that 5% of the time, you probably would be like the ultimate rock star. People would see you like that, and you probably see yourself even bigger.
Is
Um,
because the biggest thing, people admire consistency because it's what's lacking nowadays, especially in the younger generation, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. They're kind of like stuck in a sea of like darkness,
hmm
no hope, and all that. And I understand their sentiment. I've been through that. I've been through my own awakening of like what I consider to be true. And it is a crummy world out there, but just because you can't really change the outcome of the whole world doesn't mean you
uh-huh.
can't change yourself to be great. It's kind of like you're the Jedi in the Galactic Empire, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But they need to know that you can change the world little by little, at least their world. You have the power to define your reality and who you speak to. Um, like earlier today, like my son's in this based boxing camp right now. It's
Nice.
3 day intensive all day, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock boxing, right? And he loves it. And he comes home yesterday, the first day, and he's only 6. He's the youngest one there. And I'm like, "How'd it go, son?" And he goes, the first thing he goes, "Some kid hit me." I'm like, well, thinking like it's boxing, right? But
Hmm.
it's like, what happened? What happened, Ben? Well, he's like, well, we were sparring or doing a little drill, and I accidentally hit him a little too hard when his guard wasn't up or something. So he slapped me and hit me in the face, and he said, if you tell anybody, I'm gonna do it again to you, right? And then it really fucked with them because he's very sensitive. He's a Scorpio rising. He Cancer moon, right? He's
Hmm.
sensitive, and he was telling me these things, and I'm like, oh man, you need to. I'm sorry that happened, but you got to tell the coach or whatever when that happens and whatnot. And he just really hurt him and stuff. And normally, the kid was 7 years old, right? He's
Hmm.
6. Normally, you like let them handle it and stuff, but I know I can't punk the kid or anything. But what I did today was, well, first of all, I talked to the coach when I picked him up later on and told him the situation to keep an eye out on it for it, because who knows what really happened, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I just told him to keep an eye on it, and then this morning I took Ben to the camp day 2, and I asked him to show me his locker and stuff, and he was showing me, and then that kid was watching us because before he didn't see me before, and I'm huge compared to probably what he's used to seeing, right?
Mhm.
Mogging and whatnot. And I look at him and I just say, it's like, bro, be nice to him, man. Like, uh,
Yeah,
like, come on, bro. We don't, then that's all it took. And I saw his face change, and when I left, they were kind of like, I don't know. It seemed like everyone, it was cool, but that's just all that to say that there's little things we can do to change our world, change our world and whatnot. And that was just me talking to a little kid. Now, we could change the world too by talking to adults as well if we're just, upright and have some balls to address things that are bothering us or tell people our boundaries and whatnot. So,
absolutely. I agree with
yeah.
that premise. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just I think people lost the ability to be raw and real, and it may
Uh-huh.
rub people off the wrong way, but at the end of the day, it's better to have that. It's better to do that than to act, because I see with a lot of people, especially in this type of verse, they're acting. They're not really
Yeah.
being real, and that kind of rubs me off the wrong way. I'm
It's
like,
tiring.
yeah,
It's
and
much easier
it's
to be yourself.
yeah, and
Right.
it's like you want to be around real people. You don't want to be around the fakeness, because you could sniff it out.
Yeah. You can sniff it out easy.
Good to
Yeah.
meet you, by the way. Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Likewise, man. Likewise.
The
And
great look within when the great shift. This is the first meeting, I think. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
My two friends.
I could speak from experience. When I first joined this Black Pill cult stream, and it was like I kind of knew, well, like what they wanted to talk about, and I pretty much like bended my words just to fit with their motto. But I didn't like that either, because I couldn't be real with these people. But it was just like they were talking more interesting things, like kind of like worldview and kind of how bad the situation is in 2020. But
Uh-huh.
then as we got deeper and deeper into it, you just couldn't deal with that shit anymore. It's just like you have to speak your mind out, and eventually, with those type of people, you got to be. Sometimes you got to be careful. These cult of personalities, people got to be aware, and if they don't let you speak your mind out, um, it can get then you kind of have your answer. But and also like they can get really nasty, like very toxic, like and that's one of those warnings I give to people. Just observe, state your conversation, state your truth. But if they start like attacking you and just calling you the enemy and stuff, then you kind of have your answer and kind of have to leave. And that's probably sometimes the hardest part, because we get sucked into that toxicity. It can kind of consume your life. But at the same time, you could find some great things in that time, in that darkness, like kind of things that you never knew about yourself, like how you deal with adversity. you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to become that darkness because I know you and I both have gotten really negative, and I mean we don't need them to get us negative, but being in those situations really brings out the toxicity and kind of like when in the Mars and Leo, the negative side of it, they can have a bit of a temper and display anger and have outbursts, right? And
Mhm.
I've been privy to that. You've been privy to that, and particularly when our pride is hurt, right? Look at Leo, pride, the
Yeah.
pride, right? The crew, right? But yeah, when your pride is hurt, you really feel it's like the worst thing, and that's why I blew up on Neve, I guess, because my pride too. That's part of it, and which comes from probably being a little bit selfish or self-centered at times, right?
hmm hmm
Uh, and it even comes out sometimes as boastful on the negative side. Boastful. It's fun to flex, but being boastful like all the time or a lot of the times it's kind of it's kind of makes other people uncomfortable too.
It's
It
a
makes yeah,
double-edged sword, you know. There's a fine art from boasting and flexing to inspiration, you know.
yeah,
You want to be inspiring and graceful, and that's why when I view Jack Telcott streams, I kind of laugh at the absurdity of it, like of allowing people that completely are against you, and he just keeps going, the tenacity. And I get from his viewpoint, he's trying to show his humanity and empathy to the person that doesn't even like him, kind of like what Jesus did, you know.
yeah,
But that's a tall order, though. When we're not, we don't, we're human, right? We're not Jesus. We're
yeah.
not, yeah, we're not God or whatever, whatever you want to believe, So
Well, God's not us. That God's not us either. We ain't no
yeah.
slouches here. Jack Telcott, for example, his sun sign is a Leo. That's why he can take that shit. Because if I was in his position with my Leo shit, it's like y'all can make fun of me all you want, but I'm the sun that you guys are all revolving around, and I can destroy you at any time. Especially Jack has, like my son, he has Scorpio rising.
Hmm.
So with all that kindness he has and shit, that man probably could take their head off at any moment digitally, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, so I don't think that's why he doesn't trip so much. That's a pretty powerful combination right there. Well,
Yeah.
also if you're balanced, but I've heard really horror stories too about women who have dated and then been married to um, the sun sign Leos, rising Scorpios, and that shit is ridiculous. Just like his story, like it ends in alcoholism and
Hmm.
just crash out, crash out. Luckily, our good friend Jack, he's got it together, and he definitely is a good example of what it means to be, I think, a follower of Jesus. You know,
Hmm.
um, but there's a lot of them out here, right? There's a lot of good people out here. Yeah, there's a lot of good people out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Eh,
make my
and
dreams come true, bro. Making these dreams reality, man. That's why we have Test
well,
Stream Production Company, man.
that's
Making the
why
dreams reality.
every stream it's happening, whether people
Yeah,
like it or not, right? And that's why I say, like, the host makes the content, and
yeah,
not, and some people kind of, what I see, they use their hatred on others, and they show it being, hateful towards others as their content. But that's
yeah.
short-lived, and people get tired of that.
I know.
You know,
I did it
there's
one
no,
time, and it was like, for a couple minutes.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
sustainable.
And
Yeah,
plus, you attract the wrong type of people when because that's all they want to see, right? And it's
yeah,
kind of like it's like a dichotomy. It's best to
yeah,
keep them guessing, and I think that's what Avoided Hornet doesn't understand. He doesn't. NPC the game doesn't pin himself down to just one type of topic.
yeah,
That's what's called being dynamic. We could go manosphere, we can go astrology, we can go, roast if we wanted to. Um, but we keep it dynamic, keep people guessing.
yeah. That's what we call a variety show, variety broadcast. When hopefully the backbone of it, the consistent current is righteousness too. You
Hmm.
know, and was Uncle Fatty talking about chameleons? Chameleons adapt to the environment with respect. One knows and respects boundaries and consequences. Death. Yeah, we heard that the word chameleon. I was using it yesterday when I was talking about the nice guy syndrome.
Hmm.
How the nice guy can seem like an unbalanced chameleon, I guess, in a
Hmm.
sense where they change their personality to fit, like a chameleon changes colors to fit whoever they're talking to at this at the expense of their own boundaries and self-worth sometimes, and they get trampled on. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, like, in general, it's best to be kind, but never too nice, because people will stomp over you, and people have ulterior motives. and it's best to understand the kind of the dark side. Which really, how do you understand the dark side is to understand yourself and your negative like ways of being in a way, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and I see that. This another segment we have on here is every nation gets the president they deserve. It deserves, and
Mm,
it's so interesting to hear. I went from almost a year or two of not really talking about politics with my wife to I hear it almost every morning. She shares something about what the her ops did, which are the Republicans and the Trumpers and whatnot. And I just listen because I know that there is a left right paradigm that these two parties and they're two wings of the same bird, right? Which is
yep.
to harness your attention on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Mm-hmm.
your awareness, which is priceless, right?
Yeah.
And every nation gets the president it deserves, and it's like the matter is like a karmic cause and effect since the except we can say since the inception of the United States. There's been a lot of bad karma flowing, right? Good things too, but a lot of bad karma flowing, and the foundation of the wealth and the prosperity of the U.S. has been built off stealing the land from the natives and also off the backs of slaves with free labor. So this is what I'm talking about, like cause and effect. People complaining about Trump did this or Biden did this, and but
America has always been about conquest. That's how it is, right? They have the world reserve currency. They're always into wars. There's always into everybody's business. That's just the nature of the nation, and also, they got Wall Street and the corporations, and they got a vested interest too in like kind of getting more profits over people. You know, that's how I see it. And nowadays, it's kind of like people resign themselves into virtual shackles, right? They go to their job that they hate, and it's kind of like a prison. And then they leave, and then they kind of they do the same thing over and over again. And then they wait for the weekend, but they only wish for like a longer weekend or longer vacations. But there's still that virtual slave, in society. They can't escape it. They're in this rut, right? And it's like it turns almost.
well, they can't escape it if they want.
They
It seems like
could,
you can, but you could, yeah, right,
but the problem is it comes down to whether they want to awaken and say no more, right? It's kind of like in the Matrix, right? You want to escape the pod? Well, it's going to be kind of scary to escape it, right? There's going to be uncertainty, right? People don't like
right.
uncertainty. That's the thing. But um, that's what I did with my life. I took risks and it paid off, and I would do it over again because as a man, you feel so invigorated when you take risks or you go against the world, right? You just feel so like it's like a primal urge, right? Like it kind of feeds my ambition. But at the same time, you gotta that once you accomplish something, then you could step back and like kind of smell the roses, right? And just acknowledge what you accomplished, but don't let it like get to your head.
And don't let it get to your head, right? Yep, yeah. That's another theme that later on in the week. Don't let it go to your head. It's kind of like when a woman like really loves you or is into you. A lot of times the gentleman will let it go to his head and take her for granted or start acting a fool.
Hmm.
Um, but you can let it go to your head, but keep it to yourself, in a sense. Keep it in, and use that as motivation to, like that Mars and Leo, to give you fire, and vitality to shine brighter for her, which for yourself, which shines brighter for her and everyone else around you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
she's in the supportive role, right? And she's there to give you peace. So, but really, your mission should be number one, because then It's like you're not, you're not the, like a lot of guys, they turn into simps, and that's like, it's not what women are attracted to. Doesn't mean you can't give flowers or like celebrate your anniversary or whatever, but at the same time, you gotta, there's like there's an expectation. Like you're the man, you have to lead. And I think like some people, and they mentioned some comments, they're like, "Oh my God, Sif is like a certain person we know, God's favorite." I'm like, I'm my own favorite.
Oh,
I'm not
speak
no,
easy.
yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm not that person. It's just hilarious. It's just the
Well, I mean,
comparisons.
yeah, yeah. Those people thought that either I or were working with Speakeasy or something like that. It's not that serious, man. I don't know
Yeah,
him like that. Yeah,
me
it's easy.
neither.
Like it's easy to know about you people because y'all been in the internet. Like it's not like just because you haven't seen us in this part of the panel verse, all the above sector doesn't mean we don't know who you are. I mean, there's cross references, there's cross streaming in different sectors, so we know who you are. It's not like a big deal. Hey, you know
Exactly.
what? For Speakeasy, I know he has ops. These ops has a lot of good friends of mine, but hey, he's doing his thing. I wouldn't be mind that much to be compared to his, at least with his hustle,
I mean,
his
he has
work
his own.
ethic or whatnot.
He has his
He
own
has a
content.
community.
He has his own verbal combat, and that fits that niche of like blood
Yeah,
sports. And that's fine, you know. But
yeah,
shift is shift. I really, with debates, I'm just I have no really like vested interest into it. But I respect people that are into it. So.
yeah, yeah. I feel you, man. Yeah, and the whole thing with the bring it back to the president. Every nation gets the president they deserve.
Hmm.
The collective does get what they deserve, but there are individuals also in that collective who deserve the best, and you know who you are, right? And the world, just to let you know, guys, the world will not end no matter who is the president who was elected. And you know what? I almost feel sorry for people who support both parties in a sense, because in my opinion, you'll never know what real freedom tastes like or smells like. And if you keep putting your energy into this played out system, you might lose the opportunity to figure out what's really going on, because the world, like I said, it's not going to end, right? No matter who the president is. Just trying to
No.
comfort y'all and console you all. The world, it's not going to end if you don't vote. Now, there's Rizzard yesterday gave me a good, compelling reason why to vote, but it won't end if you don't vote. Back in the day, I voted for Obama, 2008, and I discovered some info. Like I talked about a little while ago about the left-right paradigm, and it got me to see the presidential election for what it really is. And it's about using fear to distract you from empowering yourself. And as a man
Hmm.
with a family, I can't look to any presidents or priests or celebrities to feel secure and to be a leader. I have to do it myself. And I mean, I'm fine with pretty much whoever is president. I always have been. There's been 8 different American presidents since I've been alive. There's been 2 different Taiwanese presidents since I've lived here, a man and a woman. So there was a woman who was a president, and it wasn't the end of the of it wasn't the end of the world. And I have to say, um, we've always been fine, right? So just
Yeah.
trust in the love you have in your heart, and use your mind though as well, your critical thinking, because everything happens for a reason. If you spend most of your time in fear of the future, you're never going to enjoy the gifts you have right now in the present. Um, Please focus on the things you can control, like yourself and your family and your friends. Not your friends, but your friends are family. Uh, you have more power and influence than you may think, my friends. Don't forget that.
Your words have ripples, which I
Yeah, they do.
like that. And yeah, I agree with that. I never voted for anybody because the way I see it is this, they don't. They're pretty much bought off, the way I see it. But it doesn't mean you can't live well. Does it mean,
Uh-huh.
time is precious? And if you're spending time in politics, it's just a never-ending game. It's like it's a game of it's for people that go into politics. They love the power games,
Right.
the Machiavelli moves, but they're mostly sociopaths and psychopaths. So I say tread carefully because in those games you gotta have some powerful connections and stuff. And for like normal people, like you're best off caring for the people around you and making them
Mm-hmm.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you're better off. Your own sphere of influence is where you have the most impact. Yeah.
Hmm. And and you could kind of just like just laugh at the absurdity. I was laughing with my sister of like
Uh-huh.
the inauguration, and it's just like I see like like Barron there. Like Barron Trump was the only normal one there. Like you saw Zuckerberg looking at Jeff Bezos' wife, her titties and shit. That shit was hilarious to me. Like Zuckerberg was just going complete incel mode, and
You say
Elon
complete. You say
Musk.
complete.
Yeah, and Elon Musk, he was high on ketamine and he's just doing Roman salutes. I was just like, what the fuck is
Yeah, we call it Hitler salute.
Yeah, yeah. What he just went like, yo, he was definitely high just doing that shit. I was just like, wow. I mean,
I mean, that's the American dream, man. We can say for most people, the heart of the American dream. Hunter S. Thompson said it is to get high as fuck and experience a history. He went to Las Vegas. He thought was the core of it. If that's the core of it, the heart of it is Washington D.C. And what better place for those people who are into that to be high on their mind would be at an
yeah,
inauguration,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. It's complete like buffoonery.
Yeah.
And I'm glad like my sister realizes that. She's like, oh fuck this. We just kind of laugh at it. Good
Uh-huh.
laughs, good for memes and stuff. And you just carry on. You just carry
Yeah.
on and just try to you know, b- bring your life into a good light. So
That's all you can do, man. And you're doing
yeah.
it. We need to do more positive than negative. We
Oh
have the
yeah.
negative arsenal that if we need to, we can blow your head off, and blow up the spot, air out this bitch, as we say. Shifty and I have done it quite a few times. We're not necessarily proud of it, but we can do it. But why we don't need to be like that, you know? We're nice, man.
Yeah, as you get
We're good,
older,
man.
it's kind of like why even invest the energy
Yeah,
into certain people and just let them
yeah.
talk because honestly, I don't even have that
I'm all
much
about
time
love,
to.
like leopard print. I love leopard
Yeah,
print. Go
it's
ahead.
like when you're doing something great, like you don't even really have time to look at other people's stuff. It's like
Nah, you
you know
don't.
what? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like we gotta take a note from the great look within right there. Keeps it trill, as we say. Keeps
Right.
it chill.
My
Yeah,
silence is deafening. I'm
it
just over here
is.
eating, helping my kids. Sorry.
What are we eating? What are we eating? Look within.
Some dumplings.
Oh wow,
Dumplings and potato soup and bread.
very shallow. You have to stay warm. Soup is a must. I would think if you're in the Mississippi, Chickasaw County. I
It's not
don't know.
supposed to be
I don't know
that.
where
It's
you're
not
at.
supposed to be this cold. Why is it so cold in there?
yeah. I'm feeling you, man. Like New York, it's like 10 degrees and below. It's horrible. It's
Yeah,
just it hits the soul out of you. It makes you feel alive, but then 5 minutes later, you're like, "Fuck, man, I want to get out of here."
I'm just glad the winters here are short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your agenda tonight before it came up? NPC.
Well, it
NPC.
was
That
that. It
feels
was
weird calling you that. Ew. Sorry, Gabe.
It's no, you can call me that. Someone else said that too. Let me say I have a heart. We're redefining it. Like I said on Glenn Lawrence's broadcast, the legend Glenn Lawrence, I said NPC, nobody's pushing consciousness. I'm a nobody amongst somebodies. That
I like
I'm a
that.
nobody among people who think they're somebody. So that's why I stand out as a nobody. So I'm okay with being an NPC. I'm owning that shit. You know,
Everybody
it's like
starts as a nobody.
exactly until we meet you. Now, if I want to get gangster, I can be like niggas pressing clowns, NPC. Or if I want to get noble, noble's pushing consciousness.
You see, when you pick
You
a
know,
name, you got to be dynamic, right? Like shift.
yeah,
Shift it
Are you
to what?
stealing?
yeah, because you're shifty. You shift the consciousness, but also too, you literally your personality can shift from 0 to 100. Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't even put much thought
Jesus.
into making this name. I just thought, oh, I use the shift key as much as a lot, so let me just put that.
You use the shift key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, shit. And yeah, it's kind of like I learned from Mr. G. Sometimes you just got to shock people, right? Just to see where what level of consciousness they're at. And
Uh-huh.
like Mr. G, Gurdjieff, like he would turn a lot of people away. He would make them do like physical labor, to get consciousness, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
"When am I gonna learn something, master?" He's like, "Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work." And and then eventually they kind of succeeded, but really the work was like kind of just to evolve yourself and understand yourself, how much you are mechanical, like your thoughts are not really yours, but really kind of like an accumulation of other thoughts, and you're spitting out other people's consciousness instead of your own. You know.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Mike Ball was a comment. I'm from Southern California, believe it or not, born and raised. That's why you probably like that gangster rap we had. Well, home of the gangster rap right here. NPC the game radio. Huh? Yeah. So what I was doing is just with the time. I'm trying to stick the look and shift. I'm trying to stick to the title. So when I said I was over it, I was talking about this untrue way of being manifested through the earthquakes that shook me up. Then we talked about. I'm resetting the broadcast. Mars and Leo, the
Mhm.
dynamics of Mars, vitality, who you go to war for. In Leo, self-expression, love and children and art, and then every nation gets the president it deserves. You get what you deserve. Everything's right and exact, right?
Mhm.
We're gonna be all right, baby. We're gonna be all right, right? And then we had people had an opportunity to get their natal charts read. I guess we were just doing it in the unseen. So yeah, everything got hit. Look within, and then some extra bonus high caliber um, content came with y'all coming up and blessing the stage. Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the. I know I'm gonna go to the dog park right now.
Do you think?
If I was a whatchamacallit, uh, not gaslighter, what do they call that? Gang stalker guy. I'd be like telling my people, get ready, here I come. Right, get it, get in the order. But it's all good. Those people are my angels, actually, if that was a thing. Um, yeah. So y'all, we're gonna go live tomorrow. I have. I'll give you a heads up. I have one of the upcoming broadcasts called "Shift Was Blocked." Yeah, so we're gonna get
Oh.
into that. We'll talk about that, some of that shit. So
I like the
All right.
echo. That was a nice
I got.
echo.
shift was blocked.
I mean, I'm not
Let's go.
surprised. I mean, it wouldn't be the first, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And it won't be
Yeah,
the
bro.
last. Shout
Thanks
out
for
to
having me, man. I'm
KGV,
gonna get
London man
ready.
with the hype. What'd you say? When you're ready?
No, yeah, no, go, go.
No. You
Finish
said when
that.
shift is ready. I was looking at
I'm gonna,
KTV with Peace, bro. With the yeah, shout out. Go see his movie that just came out. He just dropped Fire. And what were you gonna say? Look.
I'm gonna get ready for bed here soon, so I'm gonna jump off, man. But thanks for
All right,
having me.
bro. Hey, man, this is a first, man. I'm telling you, first person that like acknowledged me. Not only acknowledged, but you can literally feel and see his presence. Even when he's not there, he's there. So shout out to Look Within. I love you, my brother, and enjoy your family. You're a you're a great being. Okay.
I love you too, bro. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, it won't be the last time, all right? I'll come up and chat with you again.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
bro.
Much love, bro. Sleep easy.
Much
Okay.
love, dude. Later, Shiv.
Later, man.
Damn. Look Within. That was like I had my music ready to go and all that, but I was like, shit. He really I had to bring him up.
Yeah,
He's a legend for me.
he's a cool dude, man. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So like kind of like Uncle Fatty. It's a cool dude.
Uncle
I think we're
Fatty's
living. I think we're
presence
all.
is well known.
I know. I think we're living in Uncle Fatty's mind. With it being John Malkovich, being Uncle Fatty. But there's probably some doors there that are probably a little. I have to admit, they're probably Alice in Wonderland meets Pulp Fiction, Zed and the Gimp type shit. But no, Uncle Fatty's no meets what? What's that movie called? Hot Dog. About there's an '80s movie about skiers, ski resort teachers or whatnot, like instructors and shit. But yeah, so we're gonna do the the shift broadcast probably not tomorrow, but yeah, maybe tomorrow because on Friday we got an interview about the council, the NPC council and the awards over there on the Vengeful Truthful.
Yeah,
Should good.
that might be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess it's like maybe I was associated with. I think I kind of know, like, just to give everybody a little preview. I was with my first time in the Panaverse. I guess like pseudo Panaverse was with Based Oracle.
Uh-huh.
But I don't go on this thing anymore, so
Yeah.
I kind of like distance myself. Just it is what it is. No hard feelings or anything,
Yeah.
I'm not
Some
gonna
dancer.
beg for people to unblock. You know, it is what it is. No
Blocked you,
hate to,
damn.
I mean, no hate to Glenn or anything. I mean, I just wanted to support NPC the game. That's all I wanted to do.
And he
Um,
did.
yeah, I was looking. I just wish I could send some super chats. That was like, that would have been. I just wanted to add some comments and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, it's cool. It's like you kind of, you know, sometimes you just learn from what you did in the past, and it's like, oh, it's kind of cringe. So
Right. Yeah, we learn, man. We live and learn. And yeah, we'll talk about it.
yeah,
And shout out to the Look Within once again. Appreciate you, Gabe. Keep doing what serves you, brother. You know what's right. Absolutely. Keep it legendary. Keep it even. What's up, Bex? Yeah, man. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I mean, I'll probably talk to you later tonight.
all right, my friend. Peace,
I'll see you, brother. Peace, man.
peace.
That's the Shifty One legend. Let's go. Yeah. So that's the deal on that. I'm over it. I'm over this broadcast. No, I loved it. This shit's funny. This shit is hilarious. I love this. Mars and Leo. This is the stage. I'm giving you a good entertainment, taming your energy with education and frustration. And in the coming days, which is tomorrow, we'll see you here on NPC The Game Live. Toe the line. Hold the line.